Hello again, fellow podcaster, and welcome back to Pod Theory. I'm your host, Jason Cercone, and today we're going to talk about 6 valuable habits that will make you a better podcaster. On a daily basis, you should be focusing on developing good habits that will improve your life, whether it be habits that help you on a personal level or a professional level or both. Committing to daily action will help those actions become habits. According to the book The One Thing, which is a book and a podcast that I've plugged on Pod Theory several times and something you should read and listen to immediately, forming a solid habit takes 66 days. It's been commonly noted that a habit can be formed in 21 days, but I personally don't think that window is big enough, and a lot of others don't either. The more time spent making a certain activity part of your everyday life, the more it becomes ingrained in your psyche. Like brushing your teeth or taking a shower. You do it unconsciously without even giving it a thought. As a podcaster, there are certain habits you'll want to incorporate in your practices to ensure you're getting the most from all of your efforts. Doing things consistently, as always, is a big habit. But I'm going to back off consistency to some degree today because it's the unspoken force behind developing any habit. If you don't perform actions consistently, you can't develop a habit. Sporadic action won't lead to results. It'll just lead to more sporadic action. Let's talk about some habits that will make you a better podcaster. As I was building this list, I realized that many of these habits apply to life as a whole. If you apply them to your podcast, you'll be headed in the right direction. If you apply them to everyday life, a lot of what you deal with on a day-to-day basis will become much, much easier. For the sake of conversation, and because this is a podcast about podcasting, I'm going to gear these habits towards podcasting. Here we go. Habit number 1, exercise. Now, I can only speak from personal experience, but my mind is always sharper after a good workout. I always feel like the conversations I have are better, the pitches I make are more concise, and the podcasts I record come off much clearer after I leave the gym. As I mentioned back on episode 85 of Pod Theory, I've gotten myself back into a pretty good workout routine as I work to accomplish my goal of losing 75 pounds. But the exercise definitely has benefits beyond health. Attacking my day and accomplishing those daily tasks on my list have become much easier, and I have a new level of energy carrying me through. Before you record your next podcast, do something to push your body, to elevate your heart rate, to get yourself in a good frame of mind. You'll see a big difference in your delivery and your ability to converse with your guests and your co-hosts. Number 2, hydration. I was listening to some voiceover lessons, and hydration was an item that I never thought about as high importance, but it absolutely is. How much water do you drink during the day? Keeping yourself hydrated will give your voice better range and stability and will also give your brain the water it needs to be in correct balance to help you bring your best voice forward on the mic. Proper hydration will also keep your mind sharp, which will help you remember your talking points, your questions, and keep conversations flowing throughout the duration of your interviews. The subject of proper hydration really grabbed my attention, so I'm going to talk about this in more detail in episode 88 of Pod Theory. Be sure to check that out. Number 3, voice stretches. Of the 6 habits to form that I'm laying out for you today, this may be the one that you don't apply to every aspect of your life. Or maybe you can. A limber voice is the one that people want to listen to most, right? But for podcasting, it's a great practice to incorporate. When you work out or get ready to do anything physical, you stretch your muscles to maximize performance and hopefully prevent any injuries. Doing the same for your voice is no different. Give those vocal cords a series of stretches so you can get the best vocal quality you can deliver when you turn the mics on. There are a number of different exercises you can do, and all you need to do is head over to YouTube and search for vocal exercises. Number 4, time blocking. I talked about the importance of time blocking back on episode 81, and I'm bringing it up again because it can play a major role in how you manage your day. If you need to dedicate 1 hour a day to the development of your podcast, whether it be communicating with guests, researching topics, recording, editing, marketing, you need to make sure that at least 1 hour in your day is blocked and free of distraction and interruptions. This time slot needs to be treated as if it were the most important appointment you've ever attended, and nothing can pull your attention away. Close all of your internet browsers except the one that's relevant to what you're working on. Put your smartphone in another room. Be sure anyone that could potentially distract you understands you need this time uninterrupted. If you gave your podcast 7 hours of uninterrupted time a week, where do you think your results would be? Time blocking. Start it now and learn more about it by picking up The One Thing, the book that I mentioned earlier. Number 5, effective communication with all aspects of your podcast. How you coordinate schedules with your guests and other people involved in the production of your show. How you interact with any personality on the mic during recording. How you promote and market your show before, during, and after its release. How you stay connected with your guests after their interview goes live. Developing effective communication skills will get you far, and it can literally determine whether your podcast continues to grow or stays at the same level. Be thorough, pay strong attention to detail, and be sure everyone involved with your show has a clear understanding of what's happening with the production of each episode. Do this consistently, and your communication skills will develop exponentially. And finally, number 6, attack with passion. Let's face it, if you're not passionate about what you do, it becomes very easy to detect. No matter what you decide to go after in life, proceed with passion. Developing passion as a habit is incredibly strong and will make you a force to be reckoned with. This passion will light a fire inside of you and help you stay committed to your podcast efforts no matter what. When your numbers don't exceed expectations, when you feel you're running low on new content ideas, passion will give you the desire to find ways to overcome all of the obstacles you're going to face. Develop passion for your podcast efforts, and your show will bring you everything you want it to. Disregard passion for your podcast efforts, and your show will eventually fade away. Think about 3 big goals you want to achieve right now, or think about any of the items that I just ran off for you that you want to implement into your podcast practices immediately. Write them down, then write down the action steps it's going to take in order to achieve those goals. From there, work every single day to execute those action steps until they become a habit so ingrained in your day-to-day life, you don't even think about them. You just do them. This is going to make you a better podcaster, and it's going to make you attack life with much more vigor. Let's get to work. And that will wrap up this session of Pod Theory. I'd love to hear your feedback on this episode. Please take 30 seconds to jump over to Apple Podcasts, leave a review, leave a rating, and let me and the world know what you thought of this episode. Good talk. I'll see you back here tomorrow. This has been Jason Cercone on Pod Theory.